I'm Richard Clarke. I record these talks every day as a way to deepen my inquiry. Listen each day and deepen your own practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 625. Miss Merston, an English lady visitor. I have read Who Am I? While inquiring who the I is, I cannot hold it for any length of time. Secondly, I have no interest in the environment, but yet I have hopes that I shall find some interest in life. Maharshi, if there are no interests, it is good. The interpreter points out that the questioner hopes to find some interest in life. Maharshi, that means there are those vasanas. A dreamer dreams a dream. He sees the dream world with pleasure, pains, etc. But when he wakes up and then loses all interest in the dream world, so it is with the waking world also. Just as the dream world, being only a part of yourself and not different from you, ceases to interest you, so also the present world would cease to interest you if you were awake from this waking dream, samsara, and realize that it is a part of yourself and not an objective reality. Because you think you are apart from the objects around you, you desire a thing. But if you understand that the thing is only a thought form, you would no longer desire it. All things are like bubbles on water. You are the water, and the objects are the bubbles. They cannot exist apart from the water, but they are not quite the same as the water. The questioner, an Englishwoman, describes two challenges. First, she struggles to hold on to the inquiry into who am I for any length of time. Second, she has no interest in the world around her, but hopes to develop some. Sri Ramana Maharshi's response is direct. Having no interest in external things is actually a good sign. But when the interpreter clarifies that the questioner still hopes to find interest in life, Ramana points out that this hope comes from lingering tendencies or vasanas. Vasanas are the deep-seated impressions left by past thoughts, emotions, and experiences. These shape how the mind functions and create attachments and desires. Even when a person becomes disinterested in the world, as the questioner describes, the fact that she still hopes for interest shows that these tendencies are still active. The mind continues to seek fulfillment externally, even as it begins to turn inward. Ramana illustrates this with the example of a dream. In a dream, a person experiences a world that feels real. There are pleasures, pains, desires, and fears. But when the person wakes up, the entire dream world disappears and there's no more attachment to it. The waking world, he says, is no different. It's just another kind of dream, one that appears solid and real because of the mind's identification with the body and its surroundings. When true awakening happens, when a person realizes that the world is not separate from the self and is only a projection of the mind, attachment to it fades in the same way that interest in a dream vanishes upon awakening. Ramana emphasizes this with the analogy of water and bubbles. Objects, experiences, and desires are like bubbles appearing on the surface of water. They seem distinct, yet they arise from and dissolve back into the water. They have no existence apart from it, but they also are not exactly the same as the water. The self is the water. Everything that appears, whether in a dream or in waking life, is just a temporary formation within it. But because the mind sees the world as separate, it creates desires. If a person recognizes that everything is only a thought form, an appearance within the mind, desire loses its grip. This dialogue speaks to a central teaching of Ramana Maharshi. Liberation comes not through seeking interest in the world, but by realizing that the world itself is an illusion, not separate or different from the self, merely a projection of the mind. When this is seen clearly, the attachment that fuels suffering dissolves, leaving only the self, free and whole. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 Verses on Reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.